Welcome back everyone. As most of you know, the Samsung Galaxy S20 has been out for a little almost 2 years now, and it's been probably a year and a half. But what I can tell you is that this phone is still a beautiful phone. So let's go and take a look at it in the later part of 2021 actually. And I'm going to tell you, if you still own this phone, keep it. If you're planning on buying this phone, I would recommend doing it. That's pretty much this whole entire video summed up. Now I actually just compared this phone yesterday to the Google Pixel 6, and I was pretty much saying that this phone was a pretty solid experience still. I just compared it to the iPhone 13s as well, and I'm gonna be honest, this phone surprisingly still holds up, which is so crazy. Now you can buy this phone right now for about $500 and something on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description. You can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time, and it's pretty insane to see how well this phone still holds up. Now I'm not going to cover every little tiny thing. There's not been a lot of crazy things that have changed since even my mid 2020 review I did this thing, but the body is still one of its strong suits. 6.2-inch, dynamic AMOLED display, 120 Hz fingerprint sensor in the display, very little bezel around it. This panel is so much better than the S21, which is so crazy, but this is still a beautiful device for sure. The back is one of those things I didn't really like, and I still don't really like it, but it's a glass back, and the phone overall feels very premium. Micro SD card slot on this phone, USB Type-C with Samsung DeX. I mean, this thing has a crazy amount of capability still, and if I sat here and named off all the cool little features, we would be here for 30 minutes. But another cool thing is reverse wireless charging. I'm really happy this phone still has it, and seeing the landscape of all these other phones come out, the iPhone 13s, the OnePlus 9s, it's crazy how many things, even from the Galaxy S10, have been brought over to these new phones as, some crazy features. So I love the S20, and I think it's one of my coolest features of it. The camera of this thing is still very solid. I think it's actually a better camera overall than the base iPhone 13s. The sensors aren't super crazy, but we do have 8K capability, 4K at 60 on the back and the front of both these things, which is beautiful. Triple camera setup on the back. This thing still takes beautiful photos, but we already know this. We've been talking about it. We've already done a ton of camera comparisons, but one of the cooler things is that we've actually been getting the betas of the next version of One UI, and I think it's going to be coming out very soon if it hasn't already, so that's a pretty cool thing. Me personally, I'm not a fan of One UI. I think One UI 4 is coming out. Like I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm happy that Samsung is making improvements here and there. So yeah, I really hope they go ahead and actually improve the software lifecycle once more. They just did it last year. I hope they do it again to kind of compete with Google, because they just increased their software lifecycle as well. So we'll see what happens, but that's another cool thing about this device as well. And now the battery life is another amazing thing about this phone still. Now I bought my Samsung Galaxy S20 day one that it came out. I've installed a bunch of software updates that have been coming out for this thing, and this thing's battery is still very good. It stands on, standby for a very long amount of time. There's a ton of features built in here and there. So I'll definitely tell you, for you to pick up this phone, I think it's completely worth it. The only phone I would even kind of recommend picking up more than this is if you want, get the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the S21 Ultra, but I also think the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro are solid options as well, and I would almost rather have a Pixel 6 Pro than a Galaxy S20, but they are kind of in different leagues. The Galaxy S20 still seems more like a flagship than a lot of other 2020 phones, and even now with the S21, I think that was more of a letdown, and it kind of catapulted the S20 of being so much of a better feeling phone and looking phone and all those other things. So when it comes down to it, I'm a fan of both, but I love the Galaxy S20, and I still think it's worth it in the later part of 2021. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.